Welcome to My The Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. What's up, you dirty bastards? Welcome to My The Asshole Podcast. My goodness. It's good to be back. Goodness gracious. It's good to be back on a good Tuesday episode, man. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Man. It's been a week. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's been a week. Hope you guys have enjoyed all the streams. Your boy has been streaming. I ain't gonna lie to you. And now that I've gotten used to streaming and I've gotten my stream settings down and my setup is chilling. Honestly, I've been enjoying streaming. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been a lot of fun. I hope that you guys have been enjoying it as well. Whether you guys are catching the VODs later on or you guys are, coming in, checking us out while we're live. You know what I mean? And if you do happen to see me live, definitely come in and say what's up. All right? Do not feel, like you can't. Just pop on in. Say what's up, man. I'm always down to have a conversation. My head's always in the chat. I'm always looking there. I definitely, been meeting some awesome people in the chat. You guys are super awesome. Get to meet my followers. I get to meet, people who support the show, all that good stuff, man. It is awesome. I really do like it. And then, you guys, get to have conversations with me and stuff about whether it's about the books or about, what's next for the podcast or just, you guys just want to have a conversation. A lot of times that's what we're talking about on the streams, man. So definitely, if you see your boy live, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, Kick or Twitch, whatever it is, man, definitely come say hi, come hang out with your boy, all that good stuff. All right. So, yeah, man, just wanted to get that out the way. But we have an interesting, and I mean interesting thread. I'm excited for this thread. This thread is going to be pretty fucking interesting. So, today's thread is, what's the corn plot you'll never forget? All right? So, what is the corn plot that you'll never, and obviously I mean corn as in, the pea, you know what I mean? So, what corn plot, what's the corn plot you'll never forget, all right? So, first one is, guy and girl fucking. A guy enters the room and yells, "That's my wife." Girl says, "No, I'm not." Guy says, "You're right," and leaves. What? So my man is just banging her. And then out of nowhere, this dude is just like, "That's my wife." And she's like, no, I'm not. And he's like, "You're right." Leaves. And then they just continue banging. What? Huh? What? I guess so. All right. It's so funny because corn doesn't have plots anymore. You know what I mean? Before, they used to have full-on stories. They would the guy would come in and they'd be having conversations, and the dad is like, "Oh yeah, yeah." They used to have whole plots and scripts and shit like that. They don't have that anymore. Now it's just kind of they just get right to the fucking. And I understand why. I'm sure a lot of people were like, eh. But I remember back in the days, when the hub and all that kind of stuff was brand new, and corn was just kind of finding its way into more of higher production and stuff. Shoot, man, you bust a nut and you would just be like, I wonder if he's gonna rake them leaves. You know what I mean? You're like, I wonder if he's gonna fix that sink. You know what I mean? There used to just be a little more to corn, but I guess not anymore. All right, hey, it is what it is. All right, what's the corn plot you'll never forget? There was one I remember that was a standard pizza delivery, except super meta. The guy shows up to deliver the pizza, and she does the whole, I have no money, but maybe we could work something out. The dude turns to the camera and says something like, why would she offer me sex unless this is a corn? And then smash cuts to her blowing him, and he says something like, this is a porn. That's crazy. The only other scene I remember is the woman doing that handstand sort of position, and the guy is railing down on her and turns to the camera again and goes, man, this chick really wants fucking pizza. What?
Bruh.
What? My man is just like, damn, this girl really wants pizza. Like, what the fuck? I get, and that's what I mean though. Like, bro, they used to have some character to it, like that obvious bad acting and all that kind of stuff. Where is that now, man? I miss that shit. I miss when they had the obvious bad acting, and you know they weren't really trying to be good actors and actresses, because obviously that's not what it was. You know, they were obviously there for the sex. But it's like, I don't know. It just added a little charm to it. You know, it added some little element to it where you're just kind of like, yeah, you know what? I busted my nut, and I kind of want to watch the rest of it a little bit. It's kind of interesting, weirdly. All right. Let's see. All right, what's the corn plot you'll never forget? Lord of the G-String. The hobbits were called Scrubbits. I think the main girl was Dildo Saggins. I think the wizard was Gandalf. This was all mid-90s Skinamax. That's insane. Gandalf is wild, son. It's you know what I mean? Weirdly enough, I can imagine like his staff being like a giant penis, and so like he slams it and then it's just like whoa. You know what I mean? That's insane, bro. Lord of the G-String. Hey, there's gonna be some motherfuckers that are gonna Google that right now. I'm motherfuckers. Hey, you know what I mean? You gotta Google it for the plot, you know? Gotta Google it for the plot. All right. What's the corn plot you'll never forget? There was an 80s corn that was called something like X Factor that I think predates the comic book of the same name. What? Guy hooks up with a girl he met at maybe tennis or something. When he's leaving, they notice that her formerly near dead plant is healthy. A couple more times they have sex and figure out that their sex is so good that it heals people. What?
What?
Huh? That makes no... Okay, I guess. Then she gets into an accident and goes into a coma. He has sex with her comatose body, and she gets better. In addition to beating comic books to the title X Factor, I think the actress was named Pam Anderson. Oh, yay. Yeah, Pam Anderson was the one, man. A couple years before the more famous Pamela Anderson got famous. That is insanely creative. I won't lie to you, that's insanely creative. I remember back in like the early 2000s, there were a lot of like, they were like movies, but they were really just drawn out, you know, pornos, if I'm being honest with you. They were just drawn out into like whole hour-long movies. Because I remember there was one of them where like dude got broken up with. And he was like, oh, man, he was all sad and shit. And he was like, I can't get over my girlfriend and this and that. And so then there was like this magical dude. And you could tell it was fucking Ron Jeremy. And this nigga was like, oh, dude. He was like, what's going on, man? He's like, oh, my girlfriend broke up with me. And I just can't get over it. And he was like, all right, you know what? He's like, you're going to have sex with the next 5 women, and they're all going to teach you why you shouldn't be sad over that girl or whatever. And so then homeboy is just like, what the hell are you talking about? And so then dude like goes to this gym, and he's like working out or whatever, and then he sees like this yoga class. And one of the girls comes up to him and is just like, oh, hey, have you ever done yoga before, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, I've never done yoga. And she was like, oh, you should come into our class. And he was like, all right. And so he comes into the class, and like all the girls are looking at him or whatever. And he's like the only dude in the yoga class or whatever. And so then once the yoga class is over, then the girl that invited him into the yoga class thing was just like, oh, man, I love yoga. It makes me really horny, this and that, blah, blah, blah. So then, they end up having sex or whatever. And so then the Ron Jeremy dude pops up and it's just like, hey, good job, man. 1 out of 5, 4 to go. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's just like, don't worry, man. By the end of it, yeah. And so, he goes through this, and there's a bunch of different scenarios where he's sleeping with different girls or whatever. And then by the end of the movie, Ron Jeremy is just like, so what'd you learn, dude? And he's just like, you know what? That there are other girls out there. And this is a movie, mind you. This is not like something you find on the hub, or I'm sure you can find it on the internet maybe, but it was an actual fucking movie that played on TV. Now, I think it played on one of those like late night channels, you know what I mean, like you had to stay up hella fucking late to watch the movie and stuff. But yeah, that's back when, man, that's when Korn had a story to it, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's creative as hell though. They had really creative. All right, what's the Korn plot you'll never forget? The plumber came and fixed the sink and just went away. What? Huh? I mean, okay, I guess. All right, I don't know what you watching, man. You know what I mean? Either that or like, maybe my man was just fixing on it, and, she was bouncing on it or whatever. And so it was like he still got the job done, by the time he nutted, the job was done. I don't know. Maybe I'm coming up with some shit. What's the Korn plot you'll never forget? It was math tutor and student role play, standard stuff. He did a 20-minute lesson where she was playing with herself under a clear glass table. Math in Korn is usually dumb shit like 2 + 2 = 69. That's crazy, but all right. But this guy was different. He was doing actual mathematics. Like an actual math lesson about imaginary numbers or the I unit. I remember because I was taking algebra in high school during that time. The baffling part is he was really good at explaining the concept. My man was learning math with his dick in his hand. my man was sitting there and he was just like, you know what? Shit. After I bust my nut, I could probably learn my homework off this guy. Damn. Hey. Is what it is, bro. Whatever makes it work, Whatever makes it work for you, I guess. I bet homeboy got an A in mathematics at that time. You know what I mean? He was just like, yeah, I went back to that video quite often. Quite often did I go back to that video, What's the Korn plot you'll never forget? She wasn't stuck in the dryer after all, Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't wait for that. Just saying. Just throwing that out there, I'm all about it. I would love for a girl to get stuck in my dryer. I mean, I would be like, yeah, you are stuck in that dryer. Goddamn, girl. I don't know why that got popular. I really don't. I mean, I understand the whole like, oh, I'm stuck stepbro thing, but damn. I don't know. That got popular and stayed popular for a minute. Like, it was a minute. That shit got popular and it stayed. What's the Korn plot you'll never forget? Our dad taught us not to be ashamed of our dicks. What? Huh? I mean, maybe? All right. Hey. Cool, bro. What's the corn plot you'll never forget? Debbie does dishes. Housewife in the 80s answers the door to a door-to-door salesman of sex toys. Also, there's a scene where one star gets hurt and the paramedic team comes along and hurt actor says the line, "I wore clean underwear," and the medics have to check to make sure she's not suffering from a head injury. There's also a scene where a girl blows a guy so good that his head sucks into his body. Then another girl blows him again and his head pops back out. Nigga, y'all be watching some crazy shit. Like, where are you guys watching this? Because I ain't gonna lie to you, I need to get creative with my Google prompts then. You know, because these motherfuckers you motherfuckers must be like jerking it so much to the point where you're just in Google over here talking about, you know, guy gets sucked off so good his head explodes or something, and some bullshit like this pops up. Like, bruh, how do you go into a rabbit hole so deep you find this shit? Like, what the heck? Y'all must be some edging ass motherfuckers, huh? You know what I mean? Like, y'all must be some edging ass motherfuckers, you little weirdos. Yeah, man, because there ain't no way you get into a rabbit hole that deep, bro. That's wild. It's pretty freaking bizarre. Available online if you're curious. There was another I saw that I can't remember, but the name of, and have never been able to find it. But it was about some high class business that had sex as a part of their culture. I remember some exec award, a middle manager dude with a threesome. A poor dude had a heart attack and the chicks told, and he got fired because he couldn't have a job and a bad heart at the sex business company. Okay. So my homie got the job, and then I guess he had a heart attack while doing it. And then the girls were like, "Oh, he had a heart attack while doing it." And he was like, "You're fired because you can't do it." All right. Again, these plots, crazy, bro. Insane. Like, I would never think of something like this, if I'm being honest with you. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be crazy creative to really think of some weird ass shit like this. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. But damn. All right, what's the corn plot you'll never forget? They shaved Ryan's privates. This nigga. This one is an old one, bro. Shaving Private Ryan. That's an old corn. I've even seen that one. I ain't gonna cap to you. I seen that one. All right, I done seen it. That's an old one though. We're talking like this was like AOL. Yeah, I mean, this was AOL days where you had to like risk your computer getting a virus to watch this shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you watched it, you were putting your computer at risk of a fucking virus. That's how like popular that one got, to the point where there were so many like fake websites that had it on there, and you would click on it and it would put a virus on your computer and shit. I'm sure now, you know, that doesn't affect it, but yeah, that's an old one right there, man. Damn. What's the corn plot you'll never forget? A team of cheerleaders trying to earn enough money to send Debbie to Dallas. Hey, I mean, they got to do what they got to do to send Debbie down there, you know what I mean? So they got to suck a couple schlongs or, you know, bounce on a little pogo stick. They got to do what they got to do, man. Debbie's got to go to Dallas. You know what I mean? What are we talking about here? Debbie's got to go. You know, we going to do what we got to do to get Debbie where she need to be. Shit. Hey. Oh my God. What's the corn plot you'll never forget? The plot was just a stepsister skipping school, and the stepbrother finds her, and she's trying to convince him not to tell on her, but the dude just won't take the bait for several seduction attempts. Eventually gets mad and yells something like, "Shut up, Emma, go to fucking school." It's not even that good of a scene, but that quote just lives forever in my brain. Bro, I bet homeboy watched that whole thing with his dick in his hand and was just like, damn, man, when are they gonna do something? You know, he just sat there with his dick in his hand and was just like, damn, are they gonna do something? Fuck. I thought he was gonna fuck her that time. Damn. All right, nope. Okay, well, I'll fast forward a little bit. Okay, all right, next scene. Hey, bro. Hey, is what it is, man. All right, what's the corn plot you'll never forget? Women aliens came down, slept with men, and they lost their dongs. What made it memorable was they would actually tuck it between their legs and act as if they lost it. Fantastic 4 out of 10. That's crazy. Hey, you know, W acting where W acting is deserved. Yeah, give them their flowers, man. You know, because sometimes you got to do what you got to do. That's mad creative, though. I don't know why they would make it to where they lose their dongs. I don't know. That's a little weird. What, would their vaginas like pull the penis off or something like that? I don't know. I don't know, man. This might be giving you guys out there some ideas of what to look up. You never know. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, we're gonna do one more and then we'll get going here. All right, what's the corn plot you'll never forget? For me, it's the one where there's Little Red Riding Hood and she's getting it from the big bad wolf. Halfway through, he goes, guess what, baby? I'm not actually a real wolf, and rips off his wolf mask. I'm actually Skeletor?
What did he say?
Okay. Why the fuck would he be Skeletor? And reveals his Skeletor masks beneath. What the fuck? What are y'all watching, man? It makes no sense. And like, I was expecting him to be just like, oh yeah, haha, I'm a dude. You know, I'm a regular ass dude. But no, apparently it's Skeletor? Like, what? and all right, hey, man. I guess, bro. Y'all be watching some weird shit, man. Y'all be watching some mad weird shit. I like to keep it simple. Alright, man. I like to keep it simple. Softcore soaped up bottoms. No, I was kidding. W for people who know where that reference is from. But yeah. Hey, man. Y'all be watching some crazy shit. You know, corn has definitely gotten wild. I definitely think the old school shit is obviously the best just because it's just got that bad acting in it, for one. And then for two, it's just got a little more storyline to it and some charm and all that good stuff. So, hey, you know what I mean? It is what it is at the end of the day. But I hope you guys enjoyed that weird thread. I thought it was an interesting thread, and I was like, you know what? Let's see what's up. Let's see what's going on. So, yeah. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the thread, though. We're going to move on to the announcements, and then we're going to get into today's episode. So, patreon.com/Am I the Asshole Podcast. $3 a month gets you an exclusive episode every single Friday, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday shows, just like these people did today. All right, so definitely get on the Patreon, man. We have a free Patreon episode this Friday for June, so if you want to check out what we got going on the Patreon, I got you. There's also a playlist down in the description for you guys, so that way if you want to check out the Patreon episodes over the probably year and a half now, so that's what probably close to like 20 episodes, I would say, around like 19-20 episodes. But yeah, if you want to check out some Patreon episodes that we got going on there, definitely check all that out. Link to the Patreon is down in the description. It does have its own link now. You guys don't have to go through the link tree if you do not want to. So yeah, Patreon, get on there. Exclusive episode every single Friday. Check out Friday. This week on Friday, we'll be doing a free Patreon episode, so you guys can check out what it's like on the Friday episodes and see if you want to, get a part of it. All right. audio listeners, my Apple Podcast people, as well as my Spotify peoples. I'll be seeing y'all. I love y'all. Appreciate all the support you guys have been showing, man. We are on an uptrend for May, which is super awesome. So hopefully we can stay on that uptrend in June. So keep downloading the podcast. Keep rating us 5 stars, man. Let's stay on that uptrend, all right? So, because I think ever since April, we're on that uptrend. So March, we were kind of on a downtrend. Then April, we were on our way back up. And May, we're on our way back up. So June, let's keep this uptrend going, baby. Download the podcast. Let's keep the uptrend going, all right? Appreciate you guys. Love you so much. Download and rate 5 stars. Helps out a lot. And guess what, baby? It is for free. And you want to know what else is free? Following us on Instagram, TikTok for the short form content of the podcast. I have every episode short formed all over there. As well as subscribing to us on YouTube, man. All right. Our goal by the end of the year is 2,000 subscribers. Hopefully we can hit that by the end of the year. Appreciate you guys so much for all the support you guys have been showing so far, whether it's on the streams, whether it's on the videos, whether it's, checking us out on Spotify, the books, whatever it is. But I am going to be taking recommendations for new books, okay? I am going to be taking recommendations. We are flying, and I mean flying through Hooked. We're almost done. We're like over halfway done with Hooked. So the fact that we are over halfway done with Hooked lets me know I'm going to need to get a new book, and I'm going to need to get one pronto. So definitely recommend something down in the comments for your boy, all right? And yeah. I'll be picking the best ones, or I'll be picking the one that, seems to pop up the most, or whatever the case may be. And I'll also be looking into some books too, just in case. All right. So, but yeah, definitely give me some book recommendations. Okay. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's scenarios as well as our confession time for today. So our confession time for today is I hate being single. All right. I hate being single, and I'm so sick of men wanting to be poly. But in reality, they just want their cake and eat it too. I don't want to share for once. It disgusts me to see everyone else getting together or engaged, and I'm just existing. I feel like I'm just here to care for my dogs. I want someone to want me, but it never happens for me. I'm child-free, which is an added layer of difficulty when finding a partner, as I refuse to be stepmother. Shit's just fucking miserable. I miss having emotional support and someone to live life with. I cry myself to sleep at least once a week because it breaks my heart that I am not good enough to love. It just sucks. Thanks for reading. Oh, whew. When I saw this one, I was just like, man, this probably resonates with so many people. And it is true, man. It is true. People nowadays, whether it is guy or girl, they don't really want to be in a relationship. It's the whole, I don't want to be tied down. I just want to have fun. I just want to, do this. Oh, I just want to do that. Relationships on both ends are extremely more picky than they've ever been, to the point where it's like, not everybody's going to be perfect, but for some reason everybody's expecting like perfection out of the person that they're hanging out with or talking to or whatever the case may be. There's just so much that's wrong with dating right now, and there's so much like, I guess, advice and information out there. Now look, a lot of people try to sit there and criticize me for giving advice, but my thing is look, these people are asking for my advice. That's the difference in it. People are asking for my advice versus you're just on the internet trying to give advice. All right. We are not the same. And that's something that I have to tell people all the time, because they try to get in my comment section and try to sit there and be like, oh, why are you trying to give advice and blah, 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 because I'm asked for my advice. That's the difference. People are writing into my show asking for advice. They're not sitting there. I'm not sitting here on the internet just giving advice. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. But the thing is there's so many people trying to give advice. There's so much information out there. It's hard to like be consistent. It's hard to find something that really resonates with you and something that you really like. Because for me personally, I'm in the dating game. I won't lie to you. And I've been extremely lenient when it comes to a lot of the girls that I date. I was talking about this on the Patreon episode where, I was like talking about, a lot of girls don't really have hobbies or things that they're into. And for me, I'll be looking at it like, damn, like, you're my type and you're the girl, you're a really pretty girl and everything. And that gets me through the door, but it's like, have some fucking substance, like, you know what I mean? Because, and I used an example where there was one girl I was talking to, and her hobby was pottery, and so we went to a pottery thing in LA, and I made a clumpy ass looking little cup, and she made a beautiful vase and a nice cup and stuff like that, and it was fun. It was cool because it was something that I never done that she was into, and it was really cool, and I was able to kind of get into something that I was hoping, obviously she was going to be my partner, but obviously that didn't work out. But you know what I mean? It's like, I want to have more of that. And it sucks because I feel like a lot of people, they want their partner to be so same. It's like, oh, I like this, and I want you to like this too. And if you don't like this, I don't know if we're compatible. Oh, if you don't like, this religion, or if you don't see something this way, then I don't see us being together. There's a lot of that too. And so it's one of those things where it really, like, people are not really giving people opportunity over the smallest little fucking things. Like, who cares if they're not liberal? Who cares if they are like not religious? Who cares if, like, bro, get to know the person a little bit at least, because sure, they may feel that way, they may have those opinions, whatever. Maybe ask them some questions. Oh, why is it that you're not religious? Oh, why is it that you're not liberal? Why is it that you think this way, I think that way? Because don't get me wrong, I've gone out with some girls that I don't align with in a lot of things, but we still have great conversations, and we still have things in common, and some things that are not in common, and they're willing to have cool kind of understanding conversations. I mean, I guess because now the internet is like such a war zone with this kind of stuff, maybe it's the reason why people aren't really, I guess, tolerating it. I don't personally know. In my personal experience, I don't really care if a girl, because look, all right, I'm a conservative all the way, 100%. But if a girl is a liberal, that's fine. That's not going to make me stop dating her. You know what I mean? Like, we have differing views. That's fine. It's okay. It is what it is. Because at the end of the day, I know you're a woman, and I know that even if you sit there and say you want like a 50-50 relationship, you don't. You want me to pay for the first date. You want me to take you out. You want me to lead the relationship, and you want me to do certain things. I already know that these are the basis of a relationship, and you already have that basis, regardless of you being a feminist, being a liberal, being whatever you want to be. I already know that that's what's expected of me on a date, and that's what's going to happen. You can sit there and scream gender roles are bad all you want, but it's like, sorry, we fall into them whether you like it or not. You see what I mean? Like, I don't have to sit there and say that to a girl, though. I don't have to even bring that out. I already know that that's what she's expecting. You know what I mean? And if she happens to be like, oh, let's split the bill, then I'm like, oh, I mean, if that's what you want to do. Obviously, I've never had that, but I'm just saying that could happen. But again, that's why I don't put so much emphasis on that, because I already know as a man, that's what I got to do. Regardless of what this chick is. You know what I mean? And obviously I'm not going to steer the conversation towards those things, but those are the like main hot button issues that I've seen a lot. And then there's even some girls that have kind of tried to fish me into those conversations. Where they're just like, oh, like, what do you think about Donald Trump? And I'm just like, I mean, he's president. What you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm not about to sit here and have a full-on debate with you. Like, he's the president. What are you gonna do about it? Boo-hoo, we got the nigga for the next 4 years. Like, I don't care. That's not pertaining to us. That's not pertaining to our relationship. Like, I don't know. I personally think people are just putting way too much weight on stuff that doesn't matter We're being honest with you. It's a thing of, do you guys get along? Are you guys able to, love the person for who they are? Are you guys able to have a good conversation? You know what I mean? Do you really see something in that person? I just think people are putting way too much weight on all this other extra shit that really has nothing to do. Sure, you can sit there and get in my comment section, but if they're not religious and this and that, then I want to be able to do the same stuff. And it's like, look, man, you're not always gonna find that person that has the same everything, or that thinks the same way about you, or the same way that you think, are going to have the same worldviews as you. Like, that's just not going to happen. Sorry, it's not. So you might as well just not put emphasis on that. Focus on things that actually matter. As a girl, it's like, is the dude nice? Is he a charming guy? Is he, you know what I mean? A guy, is he chivalrous? Is he willing to, do this and that, whatever the case may be? And then, for a dude, it's like, is the girl pleasant to be around? Is she not combative and annoying? Does she, is she able to have a conversation? Good sense of humor? Like, I would think that these are the things that we would be on, instead of this bullshit of like, oh, why do you like Trump? Oh, why do you like this? Oh, why are you doing this? Oh, you must like this. You must like that. And I'm just like, whoa, chill out. Like first off, you're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing if something sticks, which I don't understand why. Because don't get me wrong, there has been some times where I've gone out with some girls and, they just immediately come out with that. And I'm like, where did that come from? Like, what? You know what I mean? That's why when they ask me these questions, I kind of just like spin it around and throw it back at them. Like when they ask, oh, do you like Trump? And I'm just like, well, he's the president. What can I do about it? It's like, dude. And that already tells me, like, all right, man, you're a girl that obviously focuses on the wrong things. And so this ain't going to work. And that's what sucks, because I see that a lot. And even dating apps try to like, put that on there. Like I was saying in a few episodes ago, that I did like a 30-day challenge where I was like, I'm gonna be on dating apps for 30 days because I always talk about how they're a big waste of time, but I've never really given a dating app a try like that. And so I did for 30 days, gave it a try, and they put so much useless ass shit on there. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what? And so then since I was on the dating apps, I like, my TikTok FYP would be a lot of like dating app stuff, but it would be kind of like from the girl's perspective. And so like, you guys may have seen this girl where she like has an iPad and she's like going through dudes and stuff, and she's like scrolling, and then, she'll see like he's a liberal and she'll be like, and tap like the pen and whatnot. And I'm like, maybe you should worry about like if the dude's got a job, or maybe you should worry about the dude if, he's actually a nice guy, or if he has hobbies, or if he's an ambitious guy, or, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about this wrong, and maybe I don't know nothing when it comes to dating, but my biggest thing is I think we're focusing on all the wrong shit, if I'm being straight with you. I do. I think it's more on like crap that don't really matter, instead of just getting to know the person for who they are. I don't know. That's just me, I guess. But yeah. Hey, I'm with you, girl, though. You know what I mean? I hate being single too, but if I'm being honest with you, sometimes it's better that way. But you guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. I know I threw a bunch of shit out there, but maybe you guys have a different opinion on it. Maybe you're dating your dating views maybe differently, or you may have found success in some other way. Let me know. I don't know. All right, am I overreacting to my boyfriend not being a phone person? Okay, that's weird. Why wouldn't he have a phone? To me, that's like, I ain't gonna lie to you, everybody's got a phone. There ain't a single person on planet Earth that doesn't have a phone. I'm being honest with you. Nigga, elementary school kids got cell phones. So how the hell you not have a cell phone? That's kind of weird. All right, let's see what's up. So my boyfriend and I have been together for a long time, going on 12 years. We are only 24, so no rush to be married. However, he knows that I like to be engaged soon, as I feel we have reached that next step. Anyway, he's never been too much for texting or calling, but I do like to be in contact throughout the day, just for general conversation, as we don't always get to see each other. Much due to the opposite work schedules. I've mentioned to him before it bothers me, and he is not really bothered to message me back or answer a phone call. Not that we need to be in constant contact, but sometimes there are things that are important or semi-important. Fast forward to tonight. I'm at work and he's at home, not doing anything other than watching our dog, maybe some small things around the house. We have upcoming plans this weekend, and I wanted to confirm something with him before finishing potential plans later in the day. I call him, no answer, so I send him a message as he might be in the shower or whatever. I ask him to call me when he gets a minute, and he immediately responds, what's up? So I let him know I'm busy and can't really text it all out, and to please give me a call. He follows up by saying, then you can't call either. I didn't respond as I was annoyed by the response. Wait, why would he say, then you can't call either? Oh, I guess because she was like, oh, I'm too busy to text. And so he's like, well, if you're too busy to text, then you'd be too busy to call. Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. Okay. But she didn't like that, of course. I didn't respond as I was annoyed by his response. I work at a small store, and a majority of my job is stocking coolers and shelves. Therefore, my my hours are typically occupied, but I'm not engaged with customers on a regular basis. Just a hi, how are you kind of thing. He is fully aware of this, but has said he doesn't like to talk when I'm at work, as I sometimes have to help the register, which is not ideal. Oh, damn it, hold on. Which is not ideal on the phone. Well, I finish out my night at work and get home about 2 hours after his last message. When I get home, I'm still annoyed that he couldn't have bothered to message or call me back about what I needed to talk to him about. He doesn't say hi, just immediately, what's your problem? So I say, I didn't appreciate you ignoring my call and not calling back. It then turns into a whole thing about how he doesn't even like being on the phone, and I shouldn't really be calling when I'm at work, and really would only want me calling if it's an emergency. I didn't say much, honestly got annoyed and responded crappy by saying something like, no worries, I won't talk to you on the phone anymore. I'm sure I overreacted in this situation, but it isn't just this. It feels like week after week there's something to argue or fight over. A relationship shouldn't be this hard, right? Or am I just sensitive and experiencing things that are unrealistic? I know exactly where this dude's coming from, and I'm going to explain why. This dude, I guarantee you, his last relationship, he used to text his girlfriend pretty often and would talk to her and have conversations with her, so on and so forth. I guarantee you there were times, and this may have happened multiple times throughout the relationship that he had previously, and I could be wrong about this, but this could be a reason why he's doing this. She would take what he was texting wrong. So say, he would say something and he would think like, oh, this is kind of funny. I think she would think this response is kind of funny. And then the girl would take it wrong and be upset about it. There's that Key and Peele sketch about it where, he's just like, sounds great. And then, the other person is on the other side. Sounds great. What? Okay. I guess you must not want to do it. I guess you must not want to do it. No, I didn't say that at all. I'm down still. No, I'm down still. Why are you being so confusing? You know what I mean? And I think that Key and Peele sketch is really good representation of relationships sometimes through text, because you can't really fully understand how a person is like conveying something that they're writing through text. And so I think with him, he kind of looks at it like, I ain't trying to deal with that again. So I rather just talk to you face to face. That way you can see my facial expressions. You can hear the annotations in my voice. You can understand how I'm saying this and you don't take it a wrong way. Now I understand. Some people might be like, oh, but why can't he call? That I don't know. I don't know why he can't call. Maybe he's the type of guy, and that's why, that's only one scenario. But when it comes to the call thing, I think maybe it's a thing where he just maybe wants his space. You know what I mean? He's just like, he might look at it like, this relationship is great and I love having you around and all this kind of stuff, but I need some me time. And I think with you always wanting to talk to him every part of the goddamn day, he probably feels like he doesn't have time to himself. And so when he is away from you, he doesn't text you or call you because that's his me time. That's his time to kind of just unwind and to breathe. And because women don't realize, like, for dudes, when we're in relationships, our girl kind of looks to us to kind of plan everything out. And that's the day-to-day, hour to hour, because our girl a lot of times looks to us, to like, hey, what are we doing? What's going on? What do you have planned? Because honestly, a lot of girls like that. It's why they like a man who's a leader. That's why they like a man who is decisive. It's why they like a man who can take charge. It's why they like these things in men. And so for dudes to constantly be on that go, planning, figuring things out, every single hour of the day. It's like, okay, we got to do this and we can do that. Okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Okay, we'll drive here and let me Google map it, blah, blah, blah. Like that, we get burnt out after a while. And we just want some me time to kind of just cool off and relax. We don't want to text you. We don't want to call you. We don't want anything. We just want to be left alone. And I've dealt with this a lot in previous relationships, and personally, I get it. He feels like, he probably feels like, oh, she should just understand that I want to be left alone. But I think what it is homeboy needs to like tell you that. He needs to be like, hey, babe, look, when you're at work and I'm at home, I just want me time. Be at work, do what you need to do. I'm gonna have some me time at home with the dog. Whether it's watching TV, playing some video games, working on my project, whatever the case may be, whatever hobbies my man's got going on. He's going to do those things, and he's going to do them in nice and peace and quiet, and that's his me time. And then when you come home, then he's going to have the social battery to deal with everything you got going on. How's your day? How was things? All the conversation you're going to be bringing up and wanting to have, and oh my God, work was this and that, and Kathy's a bitch and she said this about me and blah, blah, you know what I mean? Because you gotta understand, it's a lot. So dudes just want their peace and quiet, and I think that's what this dude wants. He's like, look, all I want is some me time, and I think you're not giving him that. So it's one or the other. You know what I mean? It's either my man wants some me time, or it's a thing where in his past relationship, shit was getting misconstrued through text, and I think it was the reason why that relationship had a lot of fights and it ended. Now, you guys are, or you were saying that, shouldn't love not be this hard, and we're arguing about things all the time. I think you're the one that's arguing about everything. I think you're the one that's starting these arguments. I think you're the one that's starting these fights because you're only worrying about how you feel in the situation, and you're not thinking about how he's feeling in the situation. You're not thinking like, oh, maybe he wants some alone time. Oh, maybe, he just wants to unwind. He just wants to be by himself. Oh, maybe, you know what I mean? You're not thinking about him. You're only thinking about yourself. And I think that's why these arguments are happening. Maybe ask him, hey, why is it that you don't want to text me? And I guarantee you he might tell you. Now, I personally think he should just tell you, like, hey, babe, I just want some alone time. But again, since he's not doing that, you might have to do the heavy lifting. But again, I think that's why you guys are arguing, because you're only thinking about how you feel in the situation. You're not thinking about how he feels in the situation. And I think it's fucked up. And that's why I think you're the asshole. And I think that's why you're overreacting to this. So, I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. All right? Okay. On to the next one. Boop. All right. Am I overreaction? Should I ask before I kiss her? Okay. It's funny because I get asked this a lot because of the whole consent thing now. You know what I mean? And it's funny because a lot of girls will sit there and they will, when you ask them this question, they will say, oh, I would love for a guy to ask for consent. Oh, I think that's more of a manly thing to do. And then you actually go out on a date with him, and then you ask to kiss them, and they kind of get turned off. They're like, what? I guess. You know, and then they're talking with their homegirls like, he asked me if I could, like we had already went on a date. You know, now I do understand why this is a thing. And I'll tell you why. Because I think a lot of guys nowadays, they don't get how a date should progress. Like, obviously you guys meet each other, you know, you should obviously either start with a hug or a handshake, depending on how much you guys have talked before the date has started. So if you guys talked a lot, I would think a hug would be pretty normal. If not, you know, at least try to do a little side hug or do, you know, a little handshake, whatever the case may be. Some kind of physical touch in the beginning. All right. Now, throughout the date, you know, have conversation, you know, all this kind of good stuff, whatever the case may be. Say you guys, you know, meet up at a restaurant, okay? And, you know, you guys say, I'll go through a whole scenario. So, whether you guys are talking a lot, you know, you go for a hug. If you've been talking, you know, a little bit, whatever the case may be, then, you know, I mean, you try to go for a side hug or at least a handshake. Establish physical touch. Then you guys are at the restaurant, eating, doing your thing, having fun, whatever the case may be, and try to make the conversation flow and all that good stuff. Try to at least implement some physical touch. Try to touch her hand. You know what I mean? Or at least try to extend your hand out to see if, you know, she may bring that physical touch down to you. Now, and then, even when like you guys are, when you open the door for her and you guys are walking, you know what I mean? Put your hand, you know, on her back a little bit. You know what I mean? Kind of make it seem like, hey, you know, it's my girl. We're out on a date. You know, you have to kind of, make her feel like, hey, you know, this is my girl. We're out. We're doing something. Because a big thing for a lot of girls on a date is a lot of dudes think like, oh man, no, she doesn't want me touching her. Oh no, she doesn't want me doing this. She doesn't want me doing that. And it's like, if you guys have some kind of established conversation beforehand, and, you know, you've initiated, you know, little touch here and there, then yeah, you can go for the big touch, like trying to hold her hand or, you know, like putting your hand on her back and stuff like that. You know, these kind of things establish like comfort and security touch. So that way she kind of feels like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, all right, this is good. Because you're not doing anything crazy. You're not grabbing up on her. You're not doing nothing. No, you're just giving small, you know, little touch here and there to kind of establish and break that barrier a little bit. Get her to feel more comfortable because she's already feeling like a little frantic. But the fact that you're kind of giving these comfort touches, it kind of allows her to be like, okay, all right, you know, dude's pretty good. Then, you know, say you guys are done with eating food. I always after eating food, always go for a walk. I always do that. Reason being is because it allows us, and you know, you make it funny. Let's walk off the food. You know what I mean? That, obviously, walk off the food. You go walk off the food. You get to talk, get to know each other more, and you know, when you say something funny, you know what I mean. Try to initiate touch. Yeah, and let it like be on her shoulder, or you know what I mean, or like kind of bump into her a little bit, like you're crazy, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like try to initiate closeness. Try to initiate, because what you're doing is you're building upon the physical side of the attraction, as well as you're building the mental side of the attraction. Because I think what a lot of guys are doing is they're overthinking everything, and they just won't do anything. So the girl's like, is he into me or not? Because bro hasn't tried shit. He hasn't like, he hasn't tried to get hugged. He hasn't tried to touch my shoulder, my hand. He doesn't want to hold my hand. He doesn't want to do, like, women feel lost as hell when you're just standing there, bro, and you're holding your own hand, or you're just like, oh, yeah, no, da. But like, because you could have gift of the gab all day long, but if you can't, like initiate that kind of like comfort touch or that confirming touch, because bro, she's already out on a date with you, so she likes you to some degree. Now all you have to do is build on to that. So now you're building, and so when you do get to that moment where it's time to kiss her, she's gonna be a little more receptive to it, and you don't gotta ask, because you've already been building up to that. You know what I mean? And a lot of times it's like, you give it the old lean in, and if she turns away, then sorry, I thought, we were vibing, we're doing this, doing that. My bad. And, she'll let you know, like, oh, no, it's the first date, and I don't know so far, blah, blah, blah. But if you escalate correctly, most of the time, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10, she'll kiss you. Just because she understands, okay, you like me, because you've at least attempted to try to hold her hand. You try to initiate touch as much as possible. Again, you're not grabbing on her. You're not doing any weird shit. You're just doing really light, polite touches where, you're touching her back. You're like nudging her shoulder a little bit. You know what I mean? You're kind of doing silly things, because that makes her, one, feel comfortable, and then two, it kind of allows her to be like, okay, dude likes me. Because there's been so many times where girls they'll tell me, oh, I went on a date with this dude, couldn't tell if he liked me the whole time. And I'm like, he didn't like try anything. He didn't try to like hold your hand. He didn't try to like do anything. She's like, no, he didn't try shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Does he like me or not? And a lot of times after the first date, like if you don't, try to initiate some kind of touch, or at least let her know that, hey, I like you, bro, she moving on, man. She moving on. She like, on to the next, if I'm being straight with you. So that's why for me, I don't think this whole asking to kiss thing is like relevant, because if you're properly escalating on the date, you don't have to ask. It's simple as like, you've been establishing the touch the whole time. You have made it known that, hey, I like you. She knows that. And so when you do the lean, you know what I mean? She kind of knows where this is going. But I think what it is a lot of dudes aren't making it known that, hey, I like you. And you know what I mean? Through that like light and gentle touch. And so the girl is just like, nigga, I'm not going to kiss you. You've been friendly all day. You haven't been like boyfriend energy at all. Like, what the fuck is this? Why am I going to kiss this dude? I feel like I've been hanging out with my guy friend all day today. You see what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm too old school, and maybe this is some new school shit. We're going to read the scenario, though. I've been yapping for too long. We need... All right. I'm fairly new to dating, and have only been doing it for 7 months as a 22-year-old male. Damn, nigga. You weren't dating in high school? Bro. And then, see, this is another thing. Dudes be getting into the dating game way too late. Bro, I was dating in middle school, nigga. And I mean, I was 12, 13, trying to touch a boobie. Like, bruh. come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? Crazy. All right. So I just need someone else's perspective. I met this girl about a little over a week off a dating app, and we met last weekend to grab a drink and dinner together. All right. I had a great time, and I think she did too. The date lasted a little over 2 hours, and the conversation flowed very naturally with us both, us asking engaging questions about each other. I gave her a hug when we met. Okay, all right. That's good. That's good. I gave her a hug when we met and told her she looked pretty. I did my best to be a gentleman by holding the door open for her. All right, my man. Being respectful to her and walking her to her car after the date. I asked when I dropped her off at her car if she is interested in seeing each other again, and she seems to really want to do it again. To be clear, we didn't miss on this date as I am not a bold person or a player. I'm a more introverted person, but shows hints of extroversion when I get to know someone well. We have our second date this weekend. We are doing something similar to last where we are getting lunch and a drink. She expressed that she is excited about it. I really like her, and I hope she feels the same way about me since I'm new to dating. I'm not good at being romantic since I've never been in a relationship before and need some guidance. Assuming the date goes well, I would like to give her a kiss at the end of the date, and I'm wondering how I go about that. I understand it's all about social cues and paying close attention to the energy at the end of the date. Do I ask her for permission to give a kiss, or do I just go for it? I try to be polite and respectful person, so I generally ask permission to kiss because I want to make sure the girl is comfortable with it. What I've noticed in the past is asking can sometimes make it a bit awkward, but in my mind, I thought I was being respectful. I feel like if we don't kiss after the second date, then she may think I'm not into her, and I don't want her to think that. All right, so you had a lot of W's in here, man. You had a lot of W's in here. I think the first date went good. I'm glad that you hugged her. That initiated some contact. You had really great conversation. And the fact that she's excited. My thing is, hey, bro, don't ask. Don't ask. Have a good date. When you see her, give her a good hug. Give her a, tight little squeeze, squeeze. Give her a little squeeze when you hug her. Hold her hand on the date. Have bomb conversation. Maybe get her some flowers. Just because this is the second date, I think getting flowers on the first date is the wrong way to go. I really do. I think getting flowers on the first date is the wrong way to go. Flowers on a second date is golden. Why? Because you already know that the girl likes you. You already know that she has some type of interest in you. Getting flowers on a first date kind of just makes you look desperate, kind of makes you look weird. I won't lie to you. That's just the way it goes. A lot of girls sit there and they're like, oh, I would love flowers on a first date. And it's like, yeah, in theory you would, but to some guys, it just looks desperate. All right. Second date though, you guys have already established some shit. Flowers on a second date, amazing. Get her some flowers. Again, nice little squeeze, hug. Have a good time. Do your thing. Keep that conversation flowing. Hold her hand. Create, some polite physical touch where it's like, the hand on her back, whether it's like, nudging her to kind of have fun or whatever. Keep it light and cool. And then when the date is ending, you plant your feet and just lean in, baby. And if she leans away, I'm sorry. I thought we were vibing and doing our thing. My bad. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Because that's all it is. It's just a misunderstanding. That's all. But honestly, I think if you do it right, if you do the date right, you won't have to ask for permission. You can just lean on in, and she gonna be like, "Oh yeah, baby, oh yeah." Especially I've noticed with like a lot of younger girls, they're just kind of like they want a guy to just get it. You know what I mean? They want a guy that just gets it. They're like, "The fuck, just get it." That's what I've seen. And that's what a lot of women have told me. They're like, I just want a guy that just gets it. And I'm like, yeah. So, and that's why asking for permission is kind of weird because, again, women just want a guy who gets it. You know, they pick up on the social cues. They pick up on, what's going on. Like, hey, I'm doing these things. Notice that I'm doing these things and that I have interest in you and that I like you. But the fact that he's picking up on, like, she's excited for the day. We had a great first day. She thinks I'm a gentleman. She thinks I'm great and this and that. I'm telling you, man, if the day goes well, get her some flowers, squeeze that, get a good little tight hug on her, have a little nudge fun, and keep the conversation good. You know what I mean? Hold her hand, all that good stuff, man. You'll be able to lean in. And go slow. Go slow. You got to lean in slow. All right, because I've had some homies where I've been like, yo, I've given this same advice to them, and they just like, and I'm like, bro, no, you can't do that. They just try to go for it. I'm like, no. You got to go slow, bruh. You got to go slow like they do in the movies. You got to go slow, You got to like tilt your head and like slowly lean in and keep eye contact. Keep eye contact. Tilt your head. Slowly lean in. None of this trying to get up in there. I'd be like, nigga, what are you doing? Because I'm telling you, there's dudes that be doing that, and it's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And then the girl is just like, you know what I mean? She's afraid of you now. Like, nigga, you're trying to eat her face off. Like, no. Tilt your head. Keep eye contact. Slowly lean in. And you'll be all right. It's crazy to me how there's so many dudes that just don't understand these things. Man. But, again, we live in this new world where shit's just backwards, I guess. So, it is what it is. But you guys let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments, man. Let me know what you think about it. I'd love to hear your opinions down in the comment section about the thread as well as all the scenarios we got over today. Today's been a W episode. I appreciate you guys. Love you all so much. I will see you on Thursday for our book Hooked. Again, I'm taking recommendations for new books because we are flying through this one. I ain't gonna lie to you. We'll probably be done with this one maybe midsummer. So maybe even sooner. I'm not 100% sure. I would say maybe by the end of June we'll probably be done with this book. So, yeah. Definitely recommend some books. Check us out on the live streams and all that good stuff, man. Again, patreon.com/MyLastPodcast. $3 a month gets you that exclusive episode every single Friday. Check out the episode this Friday for the pre-Patreon day episode of June. And yeah, man, that's going to be that. I love you guys all, and I will see you later. Peace.